Send everyone, go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Down in the lowly manger, our humble Christ was born, and God sent us salvation that blessed Christmas morn. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Glad tidings we bring to you and your kin. Glad tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to you all, and to all a good night.
Anyone else want to sing tonight? Any other public comment? Any other public comment? All right, we'll go back. Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Support. Supported. All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Motion to approve minutes December 4, unless there's any corrections. First,
I'll make that motion. I'll support. Sorry, I'll support.
move supported. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Liaison, committee reports.
Sorry.
Yeah.
North Country Community Mental Health met today, and they have space in two buildings in Gaylord, one on the Alpine Center and one on Cross Street, and the county owns the one on the Alpine Center, and they're in the process of emptying it. It's on the schedule to be demolished in the next couple of years, so they're gradually moving folks out. And so mental health is looking at buying Cross Street from Otsego County, so they're looking into that. Finances, balance is November 30, 2025, 10,366,000. And Mike Haven was there, and he just wanted to express his deep gratitude to four commissioners that came to the GTI Christmas party, and he said he really appreciated it, that you didn't just come, you interacted with the folks there and talked with them, and he said they had over 100 community members there. And he also said that they're approximately 2 months into their new contract, and so far they're in the black. So he's very encouraged by that with the new rates, and he's just hoping that they can get the misunderstanding or whatever you want to call it worked out, so that those folks that can do something there but aren't able to do community-based service do it.
Thanks, Jared. It was a lovely celebration. I think we all felt the same way. It was it was a lovely celebration. I'm glad I got the invitation, and likewise, we all hope that this works itself out, just like Micah indicated. So, anything else? I had thrown on your desks some information from Networks Northwest, just some data information. If you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to Networks Northwest. And then also today at Meadowbrook, the folks, the young lady from Bel Air Lofts presented to the Meadowbrook board just to update them on where that project is, and information that she handed me. I made some copies of handing to that as well. Anything else? Jeremy, public safety center discussion.
Not a lot to report at this point. PMR is taking all the information that they've gathered, kind of hunkering down with it. Obviously, we've brought on those two other contractors, but primarily they're just focusing on what are the other needs right now, while PMR focuses on the jail and reviewing what we've done. The rest of the building is starting to look at that.
Thank you. Can I get a, claims of accounts? Can I get a motion to approve claims of accounts, the amount of $197,271.46?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. I'll support that. Any questions on the bills? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed? You, sure. That's the sheriff. Oh, that's okay. Gotcha.
Good evening, commissioners. How are we doing today?
But
They're fantastic. Thanks for putting me on the agenda. I appreciate that. When I'm up here, usually we talk about other things besides these individuals that are behind me. I want to present them with an award. The three behind me went above and beyond their duties. And we're gonna read all three of them on what they did. They're all getting different awards tonight. So here we go. Jennifer Beechler, come on up here. Jennifer is one of our central dispatch officers. She's been with us for many, many years. And we appreciate you very much. Back on December 1st, Jennifer Veenstra went above and beyond. She assisted a couple having a child while going down the road. Jennifer was extremely calm. I listened to the phone conversations and amazing how she kept those two parents extremely calm. And while they're going down the road, she's dispatching ambulances. She's trying to talk to them, trying to have a little bit of a small talk, I guess, trying to keep their mind off things, even though that's not going to happen. Things went extremely quiet. And all of a sudden you hear a baby cry. I mean, amazing. So I want to give you this award, the Merit Award for your distinguished service. And here's the email that was put in by Deputy Director Jeremy Ball. And I also want to give this to you. This is a ribbon for you. Okay, and I want you to wear it. Congratulations. Two more to go. Deputy Nitch, where's he at? Oh, you can't. How you doing? I'm doing well, thank you. Deputy Nitch. Explain what he did on his duties. Of course, again, he went above beyond his duty of call. Deputy Nitch received a call to assist fire EMS of a individual that overdosed. And Deputy Nitch was able to assist in giving this individual Narcan, and he brought her back to life. Huge. I mean, thank you. I appreciate you. So this is your life-saving award. Put it where you would like, sir. This is a letter put in by Sergeant LePan. And I'm gonna read the letter real quick. Deputy Joshua Nitch performed his job as an exceptional level. Deputy Nitch was dispatched to location in Elba Highway. Individual was overdosing in a vehicle. The individual had abnormal breathing. Deputy Nitch was able to determine that she was attempting to overdose. And while overdosing, Deputy Nitch administered 4 different doses of Narcan to keep the individual alive. Deputy Nitch talking to the individual, providing care until EMS arrived on scene. Due to Deputy Nitch's actions and quick thinking, this individual was able to make it to the hospital where she was treated and survived. Thank you. Congratulations. I want you to wear this on your uniform every day. Okay? That's life-saving. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Save the best for last. This is Sergeant Knight. Sergeant Knight works in our jail. Sergeant Knight was, this is amazing. One of our, they're all amazing. Every one of you guys are. One of our detectives went to a residence. Actually, he was on his way home and recognized the residents as an individual that had several warrants for their arrest. In the meantime, he's assessing the situation. Went to this location. Made contact, flight's on. My other deputies are busy with other things on the east side of the county. And other counties are coming to assist. Sergeant Knight came from his residence about 10 minutes away. He was on the phone with one of the other road sergeants, and he heard the radio traffic and said, "Is anything I can do?" And the other sergeant said, I believe, asked him if he could respond. And Deputy Knight took it upon himself, drove his personal vehicle, went there and was able to assist my detective on apprehending this individual. Amazing. Thank you. Here is a recommendation letter from Lieutenant Doucette. And this is a merit ribbon. I want you to wear that on your uniform, sir. And Sergeant, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you for allowing me to do this. You guys have any questions on it?
No, thanks, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Okay, second,
Awesome job. Thank you.
Okay, next on our list, Leslie, you are.
Hold on, please. Good thing I have some note cards in my back pocket. I know you guys are surprised I have note cards. Let's see if I can get back in. I'm joining as a panelist. It's working, it's working. We're trying something new today. Okay. All right, I know it's not a big top popular subject. Am I screen sharing? No, I am not. One more try, or I'll go to the note cards. Jeremy, you'd be better than to leave me alone with this kind of stuff. Chair. We have it. Thank you.
There we go.
Okay, good, no, I got this. So. All right. So the first thing I'd like to talk to you guys about are the problems that we have through the chain of lakes. I know that you guys all sitting here at the table have seen this ad nauseum, but I know that the public has not yet. And there's always updates every time I give this speech. So we're gonna talk about the work throughout the chain of lakes. What are our problems? We've got a problem at the Bel Air Dam. We know that it will overtop its banks in a 100-year storm. We watched it almost overtop its banks during the late March into April storm, which turned out to be a 10-year storm. However, there were a lot of factors there that day that added to that, including the ground was frozen, there was still ice on the lakes. So we have problems at the Bel Air Dam and we need to do improvements. We have problems at the Elk Rapids Overflow Spillway.
The overflow spillway is undercut up to 5.5 feet. We are, working on a study right now. The study has been completed. They're working on the final report, which will be able to give us some draft figures of what it's gonna cost. And I've been promised that report, by no later than mid-January. We know that we have problems in Ellsworth. The Ellsworth culvert is drastically undersized. We know that this is from the 10-year event of late March and April of this year. It overtops its banks. We have undertaken a study for the culvert here, and the report is back. It just came back a day ago, so we're still researching it. But our options for correction range anywhere from $1 million to $2 million, depending on how fancy we want to get. We also have problems with sedimentation and erosion throughout the entire chain. This example here, this is Mormon Bridge. And as you can see, just north of Mormon Bridge is the Ogletree Creek. And the Ogletree Creek is bringing all of its sediments down from the farmland up above and the roads and everything else that's going on up there. And it's bringing it right down and depositing it into the intermediate river. That's just one of the examples. What have we done to date? We know that we did the hydraulic and hydrologic modeling in 2020. We did the dam study in 2023. We did some Elk Rapids Dam borings in 2024. We received the dam risk reduction grant programs, $450,000 grant to do the design for the Bel Air improvements. We know that the Antrim County passed a resolution to authorize me to try to figure out how we can fix our aging infrastructure. In May, Kalkaska passed a resolution to allow me to do that on their behalf as well. In April or August, and we did start the Ellsworth culvert study in 2025 and the Elk Rapids hydro study in 2025. And we're getting really close to having all of that information back. What do we know so far is we know that the Bel Air Dam is going to cost us approximately $6.2 to $6.7 million. We chose that when I say we, I mean the Lake Levels Advisory Group reviewed all of the options that were given to us for the Bel Air Dam. And we picked the least expensive version. I like it best, like I said, you know, they offered us a Jaguar down to the Chevy, and I decided that the Chevy, and the group decided the Chevy would work best because it had the least moving parts. So maintenance would be as little as possible, and we would be able to hopefully get it to work for another 100 years for us. We know that in order to go forward with special assessment district, we have to address a Public Act 451, which is then part of 451 is part 307, which deals with lake levels. It says it's through the Inland Lakes Act. I won't get into the details there, but it's in my presentation. We delegated authority. Delegated authority only deals with the day-to-day things that happen with dams and water levels. The big level stuff still gets accepted, determined by the boards and a judge in this matter. General lake level orders, we have 2 lake level orders in place right now that we are required to address. Both of them were written under a public act that came out in 1961. So all of our orders, if they're going to be changed and updated, must be brought into compliance with part 307 of Public Act 451. Things that are addressed in lake levels are the levels themselves, survey datums. Our orders are written in a 1929 datum, and we're reading them off of in a 1988 datum, so we'd have to update that. We know that there will be lake level variations for winter and spring. We have to address that in it. The special assessment district part also comes through this. There's a little bit more that it does, but it takes into consideration also all of the lakes that are affected by these lake level orders. Right now, we only have partial orders in place. Let's see. So special assessment districts, it's the only option I have left. There's very few grants left. I still am working on several of them, but they're just small potatoes compared to the whole project itself. But a special assessment district can deal with operating costs, inspections, repairs, improvements, and updating court orders. It's important to remember that a special assessment is not a property tax. It is a special assessment to a property. And it's generally made to properties that have private legal access to the lakes. And those access points might be direct, we live right on the lakefront, or indirect. And the pictures I show here, direct access is, we live on the water, we have a dock out front. That's direct access, it's obvious. But there's a lot of indirect access points throughout our chain, and those folks need to be responsible as well. The picture on the left shows 10 docks. Happens to be 10 guys that started a corporation on a piece of property. They all own one share of the corporation and they keep all their docks there. So they're going to have to pay for this as well. Some other examples of indirect access throughout our chain. First one up on the top on the left is the Summit Village Beach Club. There are about 400 people up at Shanty Creek that have exclusive rights to Lake Bel Air. They're going to be part of the special assessment districts as well. On the right, you have just a neighborhood we have here in Bel Air. It's called Cedar Meadows. They have a private park that's about 5 acres. They have a dock, they have a beach, they have camp, like a campfire pit, do a lot of activities down there. They're gonna get to pay a share of this as well. Down on the left-hand corner, that is a old resort that's now a corporation, and it's on Southeast Torch Lake Drive, so it's on Torch Lake. It's called Tivoli today, and there's about 7 cottages down there that they all own this piece of property collectively. It's a corporation, so based on how many units they have there and how they're using this, they're going to all pay to not just one portion, but one that's an equal portion of what's going on. And then we still have lots of resorts throughout the entire chain on all of these lakes that are commercial activities. On top of our marinas, restaurants, other things that are along the chain. All of those people will be paying their share when it gets down to this. It's important to also note that special assessment districts include property owners, but also the DNR. The DNR owns a lot of property throughout our chain of lakes. Municipalities are not exempt. So I have been to tell all of those municipalities that if they have property throughout the chain, that they will be included in this. And land conservancies are also included. So there's very, very few opportunity for someone to get a pass. And for example, the state of Michigan can get a pass if the piece of property has nothing to do with it being on the water. I mean, they don't provide, yeah, I mean, that's the only one, but the DNR does not. And most of the property that's on the water is owned by the DNR because it's a boat launch or a campground or a park. So for the most part, anybody throughout the chain is going to be included.
So Leslie, I'm sorry, if you just have if public entity just owns a vacant parcel on one of the lakes, there's no use to it, no use at all. It just owns a vacant parcel, they're not going to be assessed.
Oh, it has a use. It's a parcel. I mean, it's probably in their parks.
I'm sorry, you just indicated that
Oh,
DNR is excluded.
the DNR, if it's not, has nothing, if they had a parcel that, say that there was a penal facility on, I'm just using that, or say it had a building or business that had nothing to do with the water, they may be exempt. But DNR properties are not exempt, and that's really what we deal with here. All of our properties are the DNR. I think it's really important too for the people that might be hearing this for the first time. And if you are, my apologies for that. But the Elk River chain of lakes covers 4 counties, 14 lakes, 75 miles of navigational waterways. And the only way that everyone along the chain can pay their fair share is if I go the special assessment district route. And we have to bring in our other counties. So far to date, we have brought in Kalkaska County. They want to help and they want to assist. We are going through and we are preparing, I'm meeting with all of the county equalization and township assessors to make sure that I've got these counts right. We have to make sure that we have the right uses and the right owners, etc. We're reviewing all of the plats. Anytime a plat was created around one of the lakes, if there were backlot owners, so to speak, those that didn't live on the water, do they have any exclusive rights? We have to identify all of that. I have been meeting with the public as often and as anyone will let me come. I have been to every one of our municipalities throughout the county at least twice. I'm getting ready to make round 3, also with the other counties. We have found out through while reviewing our orders and the fact that we go through these different counties and we have different structures that we must create 2 separate districts. And we, to simplify it, we call them the upper chain and the lower chain. Anyone that lives below the Bel Air Dam is in the lower chain, and they will be all responsible for paying for what it takes to fix their portion. In the lower chain, their portion is really just the overflow spillway in Elk Rapids at this point. But the good news is should anything else ever go wrong later on, the procedures are already going to be set up for them to make the repairs that they need moving forward. The majority of the work really is in that upper chain. And that's where we have the culvert and the Bel Air Dam. As much as some people might say, why shouldn't it be everybody doing everything? I'd like to say that I agree, but that's not what the law says, that I must divide this into 2 groups. I'm trying to host as many public meetings as possible. Again, been to every one of the lake associations more than once. And anybody listening to this tonight that would like to have the full presentation for their group, their neighborhood, their community, let me know. Because if you haven't heard about it, I want to make sure that everybody has heard about this. We really don't know what it's going to cost yet or anything. We have to go to the first step of determining who's in and who's out. And once we've determined who's in and who's out, then we'll be able to work towards going to court and establishing these districts for the purpose of a special assessment district. I wish there was other things that I can do, but federal grants and state grants have just shriveled up. Again, as I said, it's necessary to create 2 separate unique districts, the upper and the lower. Without assessments, the county general funds are responsible for all costs. The lower chain of lakes consists of Elk Lake, Lake Skigamon, Torch Lake, Clam Lake, Lake Bel Air, and it involves the 3 counties, Antrim, Kalkaska, and Grand Traverse. As I said earlier, Kalkaska has already joined on. Grand Traverse, we met with yesterday morning. Jeremy and I and the president of the Village of Elk Rapids went to the Grand Traverse County meeting. And they, after our presentation for the second time, they stated that they will be putting this back on to the resolution. It will be back on their agenda in January. So that's very exciting news. Kalkaska is anxiously waiting for us to be able to move forward. They know that these repairs have to be made. And then, interestingly enough, when it comes to municipalities, there's a bunch of municipalities involved there too. You've got Central Lake Township, Custer Township, Elk Rapids Township, Forest Home Township, Helena Township, Kearney Township, Milton Township, Torch Lake Township, the Village of Bel Air, and the Village of Elk Rapids. plus Whitewater Township in Grand Traverse and Clearwater Township in Calcasta. So we're almost ready with the lower to move to the next steps. The upper chain involves intermediate, Hanley, Benway, Wilson, Ellsworth, St. Clair, and 6 Mile. Fortunately for us, there's only 2 counties involved here, Antrim and Charlevoix. We met with Charlevoix County for the third time last, a week ago Wednesday. And they decided that they were going to send a survey out to all of their residents that would be affected by this. And that deadline is December 23rd, and they say it will be back on their agenda in January as well. So hopefully we'll be able to move forward there as well. Again, a lot of townships, Banks, Central, Echo, Forest Home, Kearney, the village of Central Lake, village of Bel Air, and the village of Ellsworth. And then for Charlevoix County, we have South Arm Township. So again, when I wrote this, I have in here that Grand Traverse County may take action on 12/17. We got to see them yesterday and they're ready to take action in January. And Charlevoix County, they have requested for some action in early January, so we're very positive there. What are my next steps? Once I have all of the initiating resolutions in place, we have already determined the recommendations for lake levels, so fortunately, we're 1 step ahead of the game there. We're in the process of developing those special assessment district boundaries now, having them ready. Again, I'll talk to anyone. We'll be going out doing webinars with the general public. There will be mailings. Everyone that it will be affected will be notified if they haven't already. As you know, we've put together a couple of newsletters that we've been passing out. They're on our website at Antrim County under the Dams and the Drain Commissioner tab. You can find them. And those are to help keep everybody updated. And we will keep everybody hopefully in this process. I wish there was another way. I want the public to also know that it's very important to me that we can cut costs as best as we can. Hence, we brought together our Lake Advisors group. Turns out we had retired drain and dam engineers that live on these chains of lakes, so they volunteered their time. We have a retired dam attorney who lives on Torch Lake, who has volunteered his time. And then we also have the engineers and the attorneys that we have to pay as well, but we're trying to cut costs. And why is it so important for me to cut costs? Because I live in one of these districts and I'm going to be paying this too. So I want to make sure we're only doing what we have to and at the right price and as fair and equitably as possible. I'm still working on grants, but as I said, they're smaller ones. They're $50,000 here and $100,000 there. And I know that sounds like I'm throwing it around that it's peanuts, but when you're talking $6.2 million to build a dam or rebuild a dam, it's peanuts. I mean, it'll help. Every little bit will help. So I will take any questions from the board. Again, like I said, I apologize. I wasn't thinking that some of the audience didn't have the history that's gone with it, and that I know you guys have all heard this. This is probably in some of your guys' cases like Fort Jarris. This is like the 8th time he's heard me in the last 2 months, because when I named all of those townships off, he has a lot of those townships and cities and villages himself. So again, if you guys have any questions, you know that I'm always there. If you have a constituent that's concerned, you're more than welcome to come in and talk to me, or I can Zoom with them. I'll do whatever it takes. Word's got to get out. But again, I am fearful that I do not don't want what happened in Midland and Gladwin counties to happen here, where they were reactionary instead of proactive, and they're looking at $2,800 a year assessments for the next 40 years. I'd like to see us be able to do this with a couple $100 for a couple years. And then know it's good for another 100 years. That's my hope. I mean, and hence another reason why I don't want all the big fancy bells and whistles on this stuff, because the old stuff lasted 100 years, because there was no fancy bells and whistles. So,
Thank you. Is there questions for Leslie? Jared?
Yeah, your newsletter that you're sending out. Are you sending that to all the townships? If you're sending it to them, then I
yes,
don't need to hand it out at a township meeting.
but of course you can, because if you are, how many new people might be at a meeting because something sparked their attention? The more people we can get to know about this. And hopefully, if they were left at a township or a village, then there's more to hand out for when you're not there. So please always feel to hand them out.
And then, what about, like the Ellsworth and Central Lake DDA, are they getting a copy of?
If the chambers, I don't, if I have their contact information, anybody can contact me, we'll add you to the list. You know, those constant contact things where they send out information, well, they wanted $275 a month, so we're doing that in-house. And just call me, let me know that you want your email address on there and we'll get it out to you. So a big blast is going out tomorrow to about 400 people.
Right.
Alright, Leslie, you were talking about the two special assessment districts, the lower chains and the upper chain of lakes.
Mhm.
And you did mention, and I know I know you just probably threw a number out, you know, when you said, you know, $200.
Just, I'm not sure, I have no
know,
idea.
That's what I'm getting at, I mean, I represent Echo Township, 6 Mile Lake. And I know a lot of the residents over there, you know. Some of them, not a lot, I'm saying some of them don't have the means, you know, it's very difficult, as you know, can appreciate. And I think we've discussed this before with the special assessment district, how long it may last. Can you kind of touch on that a little bit?
Okay, so, you know, I know a lot of our folks that live along the water, that, let's say it's a $1,250 total assessment per unit. Because again, we gotta figure out those units, because a marina with 300 boat slips is gonna pay a lot more than Joe homeowner who just has one parcel. Some people are gonna be able to write a check right away. And you have the ability to pay those off up front. I mean, when an assessment, you know, there's that ability. Some people are gonna need longer. So we're gonna talk with them in these public meetings, once we really have it, is it so much that we need to spread it over 10 years? Is it something that we should spread over 5 years? I might not know what my answers might be different than yours, but if a lot of people just pay it off right away, then it's okay then for the other people to take 10 years to do it. And if we're doing a good quality job here and building it for the next 100 years, I mean, yeah, I know it'll be a burden. There are going to be a couple of people or, a handful of people a group of people that just can't do it. Me, probably go sell some junk I got that my kids don't want anyway, but, I mean, I mean, I don't want to place anybody out of their house over this. But I sure do think that $2,800 a year for the next 40 years is definitely something that's gonna price people out if we have to be reactionary and wait for a Midland Gladwin crisis. I just can't imagine what would happen if we went 6 years with no water in the lakes. It would be terrible. So we wanna work with them. I sure don't expect every soul out there is gonna be able to just go pay this off. So that's the beauty of a special assessment district. Anybody from downstate or whatever is used to that. They do them for sewers, water, paving roads. Also. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, no, that helped. And you said obviously this would not be on our residents' property taxes. This would be, I guess, how.
It comes out on the winter tax bills.
It would go on
A special assessments can only be placed on a winter tax bill.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And we'll be talking about that as the newsletters come out. The first newsletter is all about the history, the chain of lakes, that there's 4 towns. The second one's all about the basics of a special, but we haven't gotten into, you know, the details, because we just don't have that information yet. And it costs money to get that information. It costs us our $500,000 grant. It's got its designs for a dam.
And if you were gonna just take just a guess, when do you think the special assessment district would start? Next, let's just say the end of next year, or,
In my perfect world, I would have liked to have seen it on the December tax bills for December of 26.
okay,
I don't think we'll make it. I
Okay.
think it will be 2027.
okay.
And I'm praying that equipment continues to last while we wait another year.
Thanks. Good. Jason,
Good to go.
two very quick questions, I think can probably be answered yes or no. Okay? Northwest Torch Lake Drive, the county owns a 100-foot lot. This is what I was talking about, 100-foot lot on Northwest Torch Lake Drive. It's a vacant lot that I don't think anybody even walks on. The county will be assessed on that.
Yes,
Thank you. And then I think yesterday they were throwing around numbers, and I think Ray's kind of yesterday in Grand Traverse, $2,000 was being thrown around as some type of amount. That wasn't even.
it came from, no, it was just somebody maybe doing napkin math.
So we don't know what this is gonna cost.
No.
Thank you. Anything else? Thank you very, Leslie, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And I wish I could use real numbers, but it's hard not to. I get it. It's just, we don't know yet.
Leslie, thanks for all you do with this year, far beyond what you have to do, and we certainly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, chairman's appointments, 2026 commission committees and boards.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Sally Hannah to fill the 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2028 to the Commission on Aging Advisory Board.
I'll say.
Thank you, moved and seconded. I did speak with the COA director with regards to this as well. So any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Aye. And opposed, thank you. Looking for a motion to accept the chairman's appointment of Robert Silk, Michael Lanning, Timothy Moore, and Amy Russell to fill a 2-year term expiring on December 31, 2027, and Jackie Peterson to fill a partial term expiring on December 31, 2026, on the Antrim County Construction Code Board of Appeals.
Make that
Thank
motion.
you.
I'll support.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
Jackie Peterson, is that a what contractor? They have to be a contractor.
Do I have to have a builder's license, correct? Yes, she does.
Okay,
Yes.
great, thank you.
Okay,
He's from Torch Lake Township.
yeah. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Opposed? Okay. Looking for a motion, to accept chairman's appointment of Michael Richard to fill the 3-year term expiring on December 31, 2028 on the Antrim County 911 board.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. I'll support. Thank you. Move to support. Questions, comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Yeah.
Anyone opposed? Also, looking for a motion to confirm the Antrim County Road Commission's appointment of Bert Thompson as the Antrim County Road Commission representative of the Antrim County 911 board.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
Support.
Moved and supported. Question.
Yeah, I have a
Chair.
question.
Yes.
Bert is planning to retire this year, so we're gonna be filling his spot again, I guess.
Jeremy's nodding.
Yes,
Jeremy's nodding,
this happens throughout the year, that's why you see these throughout the year.
The partial.
Is that they quite often, something happens and we have to fill it.
I just wonder if you might wanna take back to the road commission. We're filling it now, but in future, if we know that he's not gonna be able to serve out the term. Why don't we have the road commission chair or the vice chair fill it? Just food for that.
Yeah, I mean, Bert's supposed to retire October of next year, so it's about 90% saying. So, once again.
All good. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Economic Development Corporation, look for a motion to accept chairman's appointment of Joseph Fisher to fill a partial term expiring December 31, 2026, and Peter Garrett to fill a 6-year term expiring on December 31, 2031, and the Antrim County Economic Corporation of Brownfield Redevelopment Authority.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support. Thank you. Supported. Question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Aye. Opposed. Northern Lakes Economic Alliance, looking for a motion to accept chairman's appointment of Jeremy Scott and James Dillon to fill the terms expiring on December 31, 2027 on the Northern Lakes Economic.
I'll make that motion.
Directors, thank you, Jason. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Second, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. No opposed.
I asked
Absolutely.
Jeremy on EDC, does that still leave us with one opening? Or does that fill us up?
I believe that fills this up.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, stop. Anyone, stop me anytime, rambling through these. Planning Commission looking for a motion to accept chairman's appointment of Dwayne Myers and James Gurr to fill a 3-year term expiring on December 31, 2028 on the Antrim County Planning.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Jason. Is there a second?
I'll support.
Thank you. Move to support.
James or Jim has been there forever and Dwayne comes out of the meeting, so I mean, that's good. We'll give them some.
Thank you very much. And I did reach out to Jason to make sure that he was okay with those votes as well, since he is our representative on the planning commission. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Veterans Affairs Committee, looking for a motion to accept the chairman's appointment of Timothy Carey, Joseph Rennis, and Wayne Farman to fill a 4-year term expiring on December 31, 2029 on the Antrim County Veterans Affairs.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Move to second. Any questions? He says at the recommendation of Brandon Corbin, to the VA boards. All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay. As prosecutor attorney's office, Mr. Brock, thank you for joining us tonight. There were actual requests looking for a motion to authorize the chair to execute the 5-year contract with Axon for digital evidence storage, staff evidence review, and efficient transmittal to the defense for the prosecuting attorney's office contingent on legal review.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Moved and seconded. Questions for Bill? Garrett?
Yeah, just, I know that body cameras, videos, they take a lot of storage, so I'm just curious. You mentioned in here that it's increasing. Are you pretty confident that this is gonna be good for 5 years, or what's your feeling?
It's unlimited storage, so yeah, I mean, you can't get,
Can you get any better than that?
can't get better than that. Right now, we're storing most of that in Carpel. We do get charged if we're above 2 terabytes. I checked today, we're at 4.51 terabytes and climbing. It'll be 5 probably by June or July at the rate we're going. So the idea is that a lot of that will move over into the Axon system once we get it in place. So that we should be under that extra charge limit. And it's not just necessarily storage, there's a lot of other things that come with it too, in terms of it syncs with the Carpel that we already have in place. There's some tools there to that supposedly, you know, when you so we have body cam footage, that's typical, and there are sort of a couple of major manufacturers, that's not a big deal. A lot of times, well, occasionally you get stuff maybe from a mom and pop retail store or liquor store or convenience store, and they have some oddball video system. This system is supposed to be able to read, I think they said 93% of all the different manufacturers out there, so that you're not having to contact IT to get a download of a special software to be able to look at it. You got to work with the defense to make sure they get it, and that sort of thing. So there's also some tools built in, AI based, and I always hesitate when I say that because AI is one of those hot button things where it's sort of trust but verify kind of thing. For transcription and translation, you know, from Spanish to English, etc. I'm not necessarily looking to use all those right away. I think, you know, it's one of those, as we'll kind of see, we'll assess how it does and then decide how much we really want to use that part of it. But I think this is something that will make us more efficient down the road, and we're busy enough that I think it's justified under the circumstances, and it's gonna be in the budget, so I'm not asking for a budget increase or anything.
Yeah, just curious, the carpal system, how's that been working for you? Just
Um,
briefly, you happy, not happy? How's it?
I'm happy with it. I think there's, there's always, we had an issue with it that had to do with this email server. Somehow it was an issue with law enforcement officers being able to access the portal, which allowed them to upload things like police reports and videos and things. And so we weren't expecting that. Somehow it had to do with the authentication when you log in, and it was tied somehow to the email server, and it took us a while to get that sorted out, but it's been sorted out. Overall, I think it's been a good program. Like I said, I think it does make us more efficient. We can access all of our files from anywhere that you have an internet connection, pretty much. That's why you see us with our laptops in court. It's because we're accessing our files instead of carrying around a stack, this high of paper files. And paper is not as secure as digital information. So overall, I mean, there's always going to be things that can be improved. And I think they are a pretty responsive company when it comes to, if you have a request for some sort of feature, they'll certainly try to work with you on that. But it's something that has been put in place or is being put in place in every county in the state, because the Prosecutors Association got a grant through the state of Michigan, I believe, to pay for it initially in all of these counties. So, and it replaces a 30-year-old antiquated system that we were using before. So overall, I think it's beneficial. There's, like every program like that, there's going to be a few things that you got to work through, but most states would like it.
So if we approve this with Axon, it starts the first of the year, any idea how long until you'll be able to get it down to that 2 terabyte level?
Pretty quick, I think. I can't give you an exact answer, but that, like I said, I think fairly quickly. And we're working to try to work on our storage policy too, in terms of old files. I don't necessarily need to keep them around. It creates sort of a FOIA concern too, because you're spending a lot of time trying to respond to stuff that's way old, and so that's something we're also looking at, just to try to minimize storage space as well.
Any other questions?
Bill, good to go.
Further questions for Bill?
Thank you.
Again, we do have a motion in a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you, Bill. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, guys.
Merry Christmas, Bill.
Pat is here from the airport, but it's looking for a motion. Authorize the chair to execute an agreement with Cross Check IFE for the independent fee estimate for the 8 Rehabilitation Reconstructions Project.
Make that motion. I'll support.
Thank you. Moved and supported. Below that, well, we're gonna find questions. There being no questions, all those in favor, please say aye. I'm sorry, Matt, anything you want to add?
No, no.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Yeah.
Anyone opposed?
Merry
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Matthew.
Okay, emergency services. Looking for a motion to accept and authorize the chair to sign a state of Michigan Public Assistance Program grant agreement.
So moved.
Thank you.
Supported.
Thank you. Moved, supported. Questions?
Jeremy, this grant, we're approving a grant and we don't know how much we're approving the grant for. I don't know if I've seen that yet.
It's an odd one for me too, but FEMA's been real interesting, especially when it comes to the ice storm.
Sometimes I think they just pull a number out of the air, what I've been seeing lately.
Hey, you know, there was a lot of skepticism working with them, through this ice storm. We were told that a number of things wouldn't qualify anyway. So nobody was even looking into it. Then all of a sudden they said, no, we want to give you money. So, we're trying to be as flexible as possible here. Make sure that we're able to help our residents.
All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Anyone opposed? Also for emergency services, going to motion to accept and authorize the chair to execute the Power Antrim's ripple effect mini grant agreement, but funding towards purchasing of binoculars to be used by Antrim County Emergency Services and the CERT team.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Move,
Second.
thank you. Move, second. Any questions? Comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Administration, submitted by Jeremy, looking for a motion to authorize the board chair to execute the 4-year agreement with the Conservation District beginning January 1, 2026 and expiring December 31, 2029. The Household Hazardous Waste Program Management and Countywide Recycling Program Management.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. There's a second. I'll second. Any questions? All right, Chair.
Number 2 under this, number 1 is term and termination, number 2 is millage levy. Provide for consistent planning and management of the ACD, the Antrim County Board of Commissioners shall have a 0.1 mills for the maximum allowed by law for the years 2025 and 2029. Jeremy, we have a number of COA, recycling, general village that we have not levied the full amount. I'm just wondering why this is in the contract.
Because they didn't feel like they could manage these projects if their funding was lowered. It was in the previous contracts, the last few, it was just left in there.
And my feeling is, that's fine, but lowered and keeping the same are 2 different numbers. And keeping the same would be a little bit lower millage than what the maximum allowed by law is. Because our assessed value of property in Antrim County is always increasing. So I'm just wondering if it even has to be in here. I'm all in favor of conservation. I'm always about my operation conserving resources, water, nutrients, reducing runoff, managing timber properly, but I can guarantee you one thing, based on the markets, my pay for managing those and being a conservationist for the next year, I'm getting less. I know that. So I just don't think it needs to be in a contract. I think we're all in favor of supporting the conservation district. And we're gonna give them what they need to do their job, but to put that, we're gonna charge the maximum amount no matter what, even if we're in a countywide recession, I don't think it's reasonable.
So, to try to speak to that some, I can't speak to what they're currently thinking. I can tell you, looking at the history of this, they were very adamant about it being in there in the past. The ACD board, this is a completely different board. I don't think there might be one person on there that was on there previously. There was concerns about making sure that their funding was appropriate. I know that's how it got dragged out to this point. And I know that there was concerns about whether or not the current millage would even be enough for the programs that they're offering. But beyond that, I can't speak to what they are willing to and not willing to adjust. I will say we have an out clause no matter what. So if such a thing happens and you feel like, hey, we gotta walk away from this, then that is an option.
What would happen if they're having trouble managing, waste receiving or recycling, and we take it over.
That we would execute the out clause in contract.
Cause I mean, there's some things going on over there right now, and I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I've heard from taxpayers. You know,
Just to give you an example, we did that with soil erosion. Soil erosion actually didn't expire to the end of this year, but we actually executed the out clause in that to take it over at the beginning of this year.
I guess I'm left with, I'm a big proponent of conservation, but I guess I have to vote against it because I don't agree with the contract language.
Thanks, Jared. Shannon, right?
I just, the maximum is 0.1 mils, right? Is that the maximum?
It will be less than that with rollbacks, but yeah, I mean, that's the most it could ever be, but in reality, it's going to be less than that because of rollbacks.
Already been lowered due to rollback. And it only goes out.
Oh, that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, come up for me now.
So, and I'll also clarify, the previous language actually said the 0.1. But we can't levy 0.1 if there's a rollback, so that's, so we actually added the language or the maximum.
Whatever, the millage language was specific for its usage and it's already been rolled back. Cause it was voted in 24 and I looked, and I think it expires in 28. So it's like, as I said, it's already rolled back.
Okay. So, yeah, cause I mean, I remember seeing it during, I think it was the August of last year's primary where, you know. Yeah, and I know the maximum amount was 0.1, but we're not there, right? Right now, we're, okay.
And my point being, let's just say it's 0.09. The amount that that's gonna generate next year is more than what they received this year with 0.1. That's the way with all villages.
Yeah.
That's how we pay more taxes, even though the millage rate goes down, the amount that we have to pay goes up.
Yeah, no, it's obviously.
Right, but that's basically due to new growth.
Yeah,
I mean, there's all sorts of factors involved in that valuation. There's two different caps that happen on properties, but that's for another day, another discussion.
yeah.
I'm just talking about the taxpayers' bill, that's all I'm talking about.
I understand. Good shit. Anybody else? Any other comments? Do we have a motion? Oh, my only question, Joyce, is this contract does, January 1st, I mean, it expires. This contract is effective January 1st, 2026, in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, do we have to approve this contract tonight, or they're not going to get, their money January 1st?
If the contract is not approved tonight and we do not call a special meeting, then January 1st, we will not have a contract and recycling will not be taken care of by ACD.
Thank you. I think, for future reference, it would be helpful to get these contracts earlier than that, so when questions come up, like Jairus has, you know.
All I can say is that we offered up the language about 3.5.
Thank you, I'm sure you did. You know,
I think I heard from someone that it was months ago that they gave it to them, and why we don't get it until now. I don't know.
Thank you very much. We do have a motion, and a second. Okay, Jairus, you explain yourself. Vicky, if you give me a roll call vote on it.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Van Alstone,
Yes.
Commissioner Scola,
No,
Commissioner Rubin,
No,
Commissioner Heffernan.
Yes. Moving on, again, also from conservation, also agenda item, conservation district, authorize board chair to execute the one-year agreement between the Antrim County and the Antrim County. The Antrim County and the Antrim Conservation District effective January 1, 2026, and expiring on December 31, 2026, to provide contracted county forester services.
I'll make that
Yeah,
motion.
I'll support.
Thank you. Support and questions. Jairus.
I'm really happy that Mike Merriweather has agreed to keep on. I mean, that guy works hard, that guy knows our forests. I just love the job that he's done and the knowledge that he has for the property and the forests of Antrim County.
And he cares. Big part of it. That shows his worth.
Absolutely. Anything else? All those in favor,
Yes.
we do have, I'm sorry, we did have a motion in a second.
Yes.
Yes.
All those in favor, please, yeah.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Moving on, to the Human Resources General Bargaining Unit Agreement. I would like to make a motion to, I'd like to make a motion to go in a closed session, discuss negotiation issues for the general collective bargaining unit, the county administrator. Jeremy, do we need the deputy administrator?
Not necessarily.
All right, yeah, the county administrator, human resources director. And county clerk remaining closed session.
I'll support.
We need somebody else.
Finance director should be here. Is she here? She doesn't say. Oh, all right, they're fine. Everybody did say it. Bad night.
Okay. All right, moved and seconded, everybody understand the motion? Yes. All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you very much. Everyone, this, again, 10-15 minutes. This should be a very short closed session. Right, was it?
I'm gonna leave, right? I'll get in touch with that.
Oh, no, I actually wrote everything down, so. Thanks, all the cakes out there. So that amazing stuff you're watching on the.
Yeah, okay.
And then it's still gonna stop. It's like, I don't think that's fine. I mean, $80 from my electric last month. Not including $40.
I still know that you can tell. I need a small. I got.
Thank you, Sarah. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Okay. Okay, to see you. Absolutely. Please do. Please do.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Good? All right, then we're back in open session. We're good. That's,
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the increasing the 2026 contractual 3% wage increase to 4% for the general bargaining unit beginning January 1st, 2026, and authorize the finance director to make the budget amendment from contingencies.
And I will support it.
moved and supported. Any discussion? Questions? Vicky, I'm gonna ask for a roll call vote, please.
Okay, Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Scola,
Yes.
Commissioner Rubin,
Yes.
Commissioner Van Alstine,
Yes.
Commissioner Heckler.
Yes. Thank you, Vicky. Motion passes. Moving on, reports, county administrators report, questions for Jeremy? Jerry.
Yeah, number one. Jeremy, I just want to communicate that I've had communications with constituents about our new public safety center. And I would like some more information on a project manager, pros and the cons. It has been pointed out to me that I have never built a jail, and probably most of the rest of the folks around this table haven't either, so.
It's not our job.
Hold on,
I would like some pros and some cons at a future meeting. I'm not putting you on the spot right now, but for future discussion.
Yeah, but I can definitely
Yeah.
get you some right now.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's a lot of pros to a project manager. The thing that is with this type of project, my office tends to act as the owner's rep, project manager. That isn't to say that there's a great amount of benefits to it, many of those in my office and in my position are not as hands-on as I am. But in Antrim County, there's no such thing as an executive level where you're not hands-on. Every one of our department heads are hands-on, and so am I. That being said, the pros are that you have somebody that's absolutely done this before. They've been there, they've seen that. That's from my perspective, that's why we brought on the construction manager and the architect that we did to bring that expertise and that experience, and the way that we brought them on, going with the construction manager instead of a general contractor, for instance. They act as more of a representative of the con. Really, the only con is that the cost. In PMR's case, they had presented a $500,000 increase. That's $500,000 on a project that's already as thin as it could possibly be. And that's difficult. I don't know how you make that work.
I mean, my gut feeling is that if we would hire somebody like that to do that, then you have to demonstrate that you can cut $500,000 off the project. And if you really know what you're doing, it seems like that would be possible.
It could be. Well, so, and I'm not saying PMR's like this, but I've seen it. I've seen in owners reps and where, well, they certainly identified $500,000, but in places that there's no way we could reasonably do that. Like, okay, just to give you an example, and this happened in Sheboygan County with their owner's rep. It was, oh, let's cut the kitchen. So they took they took their recommendation and they cut that chunk of money off. Great. Great day, until they found out how many hundreds of thousands of dollars that decision cost them every single year, to the point where they had to build a kitchen on labor. I have no doubt that an owner's rep or a project manager can identify $500,000 in cuts. Zero doubt in my mind. The question is, what will it cost the county in the long run to make those cuts? Because any other cut, I'm gonna make.
Absolutely.
So anything that doesn't cost us more in the long run.
So just if you think of more things between now and our meeting next year. We have a lot of folks in Antrim County that had a lot of faith in us and voted for this, folks that don't usually vote for things like this and promoted a yes vote, and I just want to do it right. That's all I'm saying.
And I completely understand, and I'm gonna say very clearly, if this board feels like it's necessary to go with project manager or owner's rep, I am not gonna stand in your way. But that owner's rep is gonna have to figure out how to do this for $26.5 million now instead of 27. Which great on them if they can. I'm not gonna turn down assistance at all, especially expertise. Not at all. But you are now trying to fit a project that's already been crammed into a very tight box into an even smaller box.
So just, let's say I'm an owner's rep. And I say, absolutely, I can do this for $26.5 million. Is it possible before you would sign some sort of a project like that to say, come here, do a presentation, show me how you can do this? Or do you have to hire them before you can ask them what they can do? How does that work?
Yeah, they're not gonna be able to, if they're not full of crap, they're not gonna be able to give you that. But no professional would, because you'd have to be very deep into the project before you had any clear picture on what this looks like. I wanna be clear, there is no reason to believe that when the bids first come in, they're going to be under $27 million. All I can tell you is by the time we come out of that process, it will be within budget, one way or the other.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, has to be.
Has to be.
So that being said, nobody's gonna be able to make you that promise, and if they do, then you sure as heck should trust them.
Right.
I could cut things too, that could make it $26.5 million. I really could, but it will cost this county a lot more in the long run than that $500,000.
I just wanted to air it. I've had constituents ask me about it and I appreciate the feedback.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jeremy, if you can put something together for us, you know, I mean, again, I think not only Jared's the same tomorrow, it's just if you can put something together for us in regards to a project manager, pluses and minuses, and
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I have a comment. It's not a question on this. I want to reemphasize, our job as Board of Commissioners is budget and policy. We are not the people that are gonna design and build a jail. None of us know anything about that. That's Jeremy's job to make sure that the people that are building it and the architects know what they're doing, not our job. Our job is how are we gonna pay for it? That's all. Just so everybody's aware of that, because that's our policy, that's our job, budget and policy, that's all. So just so everybody's clear, that's what the Board of Commissioners' job is. So that's all I got to say.
I agree. And my response is, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm not asking you to be the project manager. I'm not asking you to be the owner's rep. That's not my job at all. I mean, I think what Jared is saying is give us some information about.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, yes.
I mean, because I don't know the first thing about building a jail.
I don't want to know.
I think that's why we hired who we hired, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, to bring another entity in for $500,000. And then have to make $500,000 where it cuts right off the top or the bottom, wherever you wanna take it, or the middle. I mean, to me, it's silly, but I mean, that's just my opinion. But that's a good point, Terry, so I agree with you there.
Oh, but and again, Terry, I don't disagree with it. I'm not interested in taking on the role of project manager for that.
That's why we got that guy right there. And he did a wonderful job. He has a track record from the county building and the courthouse. Good with that.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, these are kind of attached to your report, but I'm gonna ask about, I'm looking at, the status of the capital improvement projects.
Yeah.
Barnes Park repaving, it says are we done with that? It says it's underway, are we done with that?
Yeah, sorry, we are done.
Okay, and so that's done with the total is accurate, 240.
Yes.
Okay. And then, Jeremy, on to, the revenue expenditure report, which is getting, we're almost to the end of the year, or 91.51% through the year.
What page you
Oh,
on?
I'm sorry, this would be page 81 and 82 of our pack.
Thank you.
Yes. And Jeremy, I would, I'm sure there's a very logical explanation, but Leslie's already left, but, I'm looking at dam operators, that's over, I mean.
It is over. You guys authorized increases, those budget amendments just weren't made. They'll be done at the end of the year. For
Okay.
the money that was already approved to be adjusted earlier.
And fantastic, same thing applies to soil erosion.
Yeah, that one, actually, to be clear, when we started this out, we were certain we would probably be over budget because we were transitioning.
Understood. Yep, okay, thank you very much. We got treasurer's report for information only. Sherry's still with us. Any questions? If not, chairman's report, all I just want to mention again is our next meeting is our organizational meeting scheduled again, January 5th, 10 o'clock. We've mentioned it before, please, if you get a chance, maybe look at our board procedures and bylaws, see if there's any changes you want to make, so potentially that can be done on the 5th. Specifically, what I was looking at, and we talked about before, is annual reports, the necessity of annual reports, look at those, and then committee assignments, but I'm sure there may be other things people have ideas about. And then mainly just, the main thing is Merry Christmas to all you guys, safe travels and, going around and so forth. So that's all I have of me. Anything else, various matters, Ray?
One thing, I just wanted to mention, the UTI Christmas party last Thursday. I want to give a shout out to Bel Air High School. The students participated in this event and they were fantastic. I mean, literally handing out food, handing out presents, dancing with all the folks. They really enjoyed it, and I have to say that I was really happy. Students from our county, they were so involved and made the Christmas party a complete success. So thank you to Bel Air High School.
Thanks. Jared, any last comments?
Kind of along the same lines, I mean, Micah was just today at mental health, he was just so appreciative of everybody from the community that came out to GTI. My wife and I went, and we had to leave a little earlier than I planned, but we were there for a while, and, just folks are so happy and appreciative, and, I think it's one of the highlights of their year. Other than that, just was reading recently in Matthew chapter 2 about the wise men who came and how they turned the government upside down searching for a king because the kings that he didn't know about it. I just wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Last comments, Mr. Van Alstad?
No.
Okay, again, any public comment? All right, thank you very much for adjourned.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, geez. Thank you, Mel.